Good evening. Thanks for joining us here at 11. Streaming live at KMIR.com. I'm Gino Lamont.
And I'm Thalia Hayden.
California's historic drought has the governor taking harsh action.
He's unveiled legislation to aid suffering communities. Our Kitty Alvarado has more.
If this drought continues, we'll crank it down and it will get extremely challenging.
Governor Jerry Brown unveiled a $1 billion spending package aimed to bring relief to communities suffering because of California's continued drought. And if it continues, the governor says strict regulations imposed by the Water Board only days ago will only get tougher.
We're going to increasingly control the use of water to the point where we have to get a lot more efficient. It's going to be expensive, and everybody's got to do their part.
One of the state's new regulations requires restaurants to only bring customers water upon request. California Pizza Kitchen on El Paseo says they take pride in water conservation. For them, it's nothing new.
We've actually been doing this since probably about the mid-90s, since this location opened.
This Palm Desert resident says conserving is the right thing to do, but says often the powers that be make it tough to do.
We stopped watering the grass for a while, and it turned brown, and the city came and gave us a warning that we needed to water the grass. So it was like a catch-22.
This California resident says she's seen the drought's negative impact firsthand.
I'm a big skier, and there was no snow in the mountains in Tahoe, or I was at Mammoth. It was very sparse. We need the water.
Gage says while we can't control the drought, we can do something.
Bottom line is save water.
In Palm Desert, Kitty Alvarado, KMIR News.
Thank you, Kitty. Now, this proposal comes on the heels of a NASA scientist who stated that if California's drought continues, the state only has a year's worth of water left to consume. Palm Springs is now looking for a new fire chief. Current Chief John Allen announced today that he is stepping down from the job, citing family issues. Allen has been with the department for 21 years, the past 2 of those as chief. Retired Palm Springs Fire Chief Blake Getz will work as the interim replacement.
2 people suffered minor injuries and 4 were displaced following a fire overnight at an Indio home. Firefighters were called to the scene just before midnight on Avenida Gonzalez, where they found a single-story home with smoke and fire visible in the garage. Within a half an hour, though, the blaze was contained to the attached garage. Damage was estimated at $50,000. Both injured victims were treated and released. One person suffering a minor burn to the foot. The Red Cross is assisting displaced family members. And we've now learned the name of a man killed while crossing the street in Indio yesterday. Investigators say 73-year-old Geronimo Meza was not in a crosswalk when he was hit near the intersection of Fred Waring and Clinton Avenue. The driver was cooperating and is not expected to face any charges, but police are still investigating the accident.
A 19-year-old Coachella man who was shot last night while standing in his front yard is expected to survive. The shooting was reported around 10:15 last night on 2nd Street. The victim was taken to the hospital with a non-life-threatening bullet wound. His identity has not yet been released. Anyone with information about the shooting is asked to call Crime Stoppers at 760-341-STOP. Let's get a check on weather.
Meteorologist Jeff Fox standing by with tonight's weather headlines. Jeff.
Hey, Gino and Thalia, what a great night we've got. Temperature down in the low 70s now. Last night we went to 63, tonight about 58, so a cooler night tonight and hot days for the next week or more. Today's high was 84. I hate to be stat man here. Today's high was 84, and I'm mentioning that because everything in the extended forecast is hotter than that 84 we had today, and certainly no rain in the near-term future. There's just nothing showing for us. Wake-up time 64 will be in the low 80s at noontime and 87 at 5 o'clock. I'm coming back with the extended forecast, and that's in just a few minutes. Gino and Thalia.
All right, thank you, Jeff. The city of Coachella now has a sister city. Leaders will strengthen ties with Mexicali, just south of the border. KMIR's Giselle Puente explains.
The beginning of a new relationship between the city of Coachella and Mexico is springing forward. The city of Mexicali, just south of the border and a 2-hour drive from Coachella, will become its new sister city.
Is really a natural fit for the city of Coachella. We've got a lot of residents that have family or friends that are just across the border.
The city's economic development manager says it's a crucial time to strengthen bonds on an international level.
We've grown double in size in the last 10 years. Coachella is anticipated to be the biggest city in the Coachella Valley in the coming years.
City officials hope that this new relationship with Mexico will benefit them educationally, economically, and culturally. City leaders will be traveling to Mexicali this weekend to formalize the agreement. They'll visit schools and businesses as well as bringing some gifts from the valley.
Desert Valley Dates is a big date producer here in Coachella. And so what we've got here is a box of dates that we're going to be providing to the Mexicali mayor. We're bringing some of KMIR organic mole as well as just kind of a small gift.
Under this new collaboration with Mexicali, officials hope to set an example for other cities in the valley to continue seeking international opportunities. In Coachella, I'm Giselle Puente, KMIR News.
Thank you, Giselle. Coachella city leaders leave for Mexicali tomorrow and return on Saturday.
The staff of a primary care clinic in Indio are volunteering their services to help those in need. The Coachella Valley Volunteers in Medicine are now accepting new patients at its free clinic. The nonprofit seeks to help clients who are medically underserved. The clinic sees many people with diabetes, high blood pressure, and other common but treatable ailments. Patients are seen by appointment only. The main qualification is having an address here in the Coachella Valley.
Volunteers in Medicine is the only free clinic in the Coachella Valley, serving folks who have no other outlet for primary care other than to turn to an emergency department for care. So folks who don't have insurance, folks who are undocumented living and working in our valley, folks who simply can't afford to purchase insurance are welcome to come here for primary care and dental services.
Yeah, the free clinic is located on Avenue 48 in Indio. If you'd like more information, the number's right there on your screen, 760-342-4414.
A big donation to help cancer victims. Bighorn Behind a Miracle, better known as Bighorn BAM, donated some $600,000 to the Eisenhower Medical Center. The money will help support the Lucy Kirchie Cancer Center. Bighorn BAM also donated $150,000 to the Pendleton Foundation, which helps ease the financial burden of cancer patients undergoing treatment. Since it was founded 7 years ago, Bighorn BAM has raised more than $4.5 million for cancer causes.
Palm Springs Village Fest has been a staple here in the valley for years. In fact, tonight they celebrated a big birthday.
We want to thank you for coming to downtown Palm Springs. Come on, everybody! Come on!
The weekly event celebrated its 24th year by giving out cupcakes. For over the years, tens of thousands of people have visited downtown Palm Springs on Thursday nights. They shut down the downtown streets. People walk around, enjoy entertainment, art, food, and plenty of fun. It's something that has made a big impact on Palm Springs as a whole.
It's an opportunity to say thank you to not just to the people who come, but to the vendors. Remember, everything here at Village Fest is very craft-oriented, homemade. So, you know, we have an opportunity to come and celebrate, and what a wonderful thing to do.
Village Fest is free and takes place on Palm Canyon Drive each Thursday night from 6 to 10.
A ribbon-cutting ceremony for 3 popular food joints was held in Palm Springs today. Mayor Steve Pugnier and the Palm Springs Chamber of Commerce celebrated the success of the Springs Shopping Center. Five Guys Burgers and Fries, Dickey's Barbecue Pit, and Firehouse Subs are now open for business. The 3 eateries offered special deals and promotions during today's grand opening.
And the city of Palm Springs has been named the 5th most popular place in the country to book a vacation rental home. This according to TripAdvisor's 6th annual vacation rental survey. Asheville, North Carolina topped the list. Really?
Yeah, I know.
Followed by Sedona, Arizona. I can see that. New Orleans, Branson, Missouri. Yeah, sure. Who doesn't love
Manny's
Branson?
from there.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Las Vegas and 4 Hawaiian cities rounded out the top 10. See, all those make sense, but the North Carolina, but I've never been, so maybe it's lovely. This year, though, up 52% from last year when it comes to vacationers renting places.
Crooners Bing Crosby's Thunderbird Heights Retreat is on the market in Rancho Mirage, and it can be yours for just $5 million. The one-story mid-century modern home was built in 1957. It sits on 1.4 acres and encompasses 6,700 square feet. It features 6 bedrooms, 5.5 bathrooms. There's also a state-of-the-art movie theater and an outdoor putting green. Gino, you would love that.
Yeah, no, I could live there.
Putting green.
Yeah,
Practice your swing.
That's the least of it. But yeah, I could live there. KMIR News at 11, just getting started.
We'll have all the highlights from today's